Yeah, well, one of the ways I look at this is any professional sports team doesn't go 12 months long.
No.
They go 9 months. They might have 3 months off. Doesn't have to, and we're not a professional sports team, so we don't have to have that off all the time. We could do 3 months hard and then 1 month off, and then 3 months hard and then 1 month off, and then and just go in that cycle so that you do have. All right, I'm using a month. That's a pretty long time, but you've got this downtime that you build in so that you can just relax, calibrate yourself, enjoy, catch up with your friends that you've sort of missed out on, and live your life. And then you go back into that personal growth mode and you build yourself and expand. And then you can relax just for a little bit. It could be a week, it doesn't
Mm.
have to be a month, but you just have a bit of downtime and you recharge your batteries because it is there's no point in time where personal growth becomes less stressful on you,
Mm.
because if it's becoming less stressful, you're not growing.
Mm.
You have to stress yourself to be able to grow to that next level, and that's one of the things about personal growth. But last year when we were doing the dinners with Lux,
Mm.
there was one guy there specifically, and I think his highest value was fun and
Mm.
recreation. And it was funny because there was like 10 people at the table, or 12, 15. I forget the exact number at that dinner. But everyone on the table just turned around and go, "Oh wow, yeah."
Wow. Yeah.
We didn't
That was a
even think
learning
about,
moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone just turned around and go, "We could learn from this guy because he's living life with fun and recreation as one of his highest values."
Yeah.
And it changed the whole table and the whole dynamic for the dinner.
Yeah. And it's actually really interesting you say that because how it talked about you've got to have a strategy for it. Well, he had a strategy. So he was building in what he found was creativity and fun and games. And this person put that into his schedule as a deliberate action. So he had that element fulfilled. And so consequently you go, great, now I can go and slay dragons. But I've had that part of my world that's been fulfilled that I'm really grateful for. And that's what it's about.
Yeah,
And fun and metric, it's got to be enjoyable. Like for me, I love going to live events.
yeah,
Love going to live events, whether it's a sporting event, whether it's a theater, whether it's whatever. I love it. Movies, I love it. Now I haven't been able to get that done, and so there's a part of me that's really craving and missing that. So all right, there's been an basically exceptional circumstances this year, but if this doesn't get nurtured over time, I'm just giving you one example. After a while, the body goes, "Oh, what's the point?" It goes through that process. Now, imagine you have 6 areas in your world that you're doing that to. If fun's important to you, you know that your own purpose work is important, and you don't feed that work. If you're going through, relationships, and you could be nurturing a relationship with people, but you're choosing not to. Imagine how you dull down every one of those worlds. It's any wonder you're not living a life of fulfillment and joy because you've deliberately dialed down or not made a priority of seeking those things out.
yeah. I agree with that. And one of the things was when I was coming out of lockdown, people are asking me, "Oh, what do you really want to do?" And I go, "I want to go and watch live music in Fitzroy,
Yeah.
and I want the floor to be sticky so that when you step on with your shoes, you hear that like Velcro just coming up."
I've been a glassy man, and I used to, like I used to pour drinks. I used to be a
Yeah,
bartender as well, and I got to say that at the end of the night, when you're walking along and everybody's, like it's just, I get it,
yeah.
and to me, it just brought me memories of having to hose down the whole back section.
Hey, I'm not saying it's a pleasant thing, but I'm like that was the vision that I
Yeah,
had,
yeah,
was
yeah.
the sticky floors and the beer that you don't know if that glass was washed properly, and you're sitting
Isn't
there
that
watching
funny
a
now
live
in
band.
COVID, with COVID now, how many suddenly that image has just changed.
Yeah,
You suddenly go, dude, that's not,
I want it to be as
all the
clean.
nuts on the bar. No
Yeah,
one's going to touch
no,
those.
no.
No way. All
Yeah,
right, good. So Adam, our final point is about contribution. And contribution is it's another fundamental human need, because when you're living a life of fulfillment, quite often that'll happen when you're contributing to something greater than yourself, right? Um, and it doesn't have to be money. It can be a contribution of yourself or contribution to. But that feeling of being able to contribute, be a part of something, a movement, an action, a committee, a volunteer, spend time with people, all those areas of contribution help you. And I know particularly for me, when I was growing up, And when I say not even growing up, sorry, when I was in the early years of practice, and I had young kids, and I was working very long hours. I had a young family, and what I still did, I actually still got involved in Rotary. I was a Rotarian, and it was all about contribution. And I was exhausted. I was tired, but there's something about, you know, being a part of something that would inspire, that fills your soul, because that allows you to get energy, when you don't have it. And so I would be tired after a busy day, a busy week. The last thing I want to be doing is cooking a barbecue at 6:30 a.m. on a Sunday to raise funds. But really funny, I'd go there, I'd turn up, and the energy, the joy, the gratitude that's coming from people would fill my soul.
Mhm.
And I felt so good about that. And so I would contribute. And to this day, we contribute heavily to a lot of causes that we believe in, both financially and also of our time. And that fuels my soul. They're my key metrics. So for me is, am I looking after self? Great. Am I growing? Yes. Am I contributing? They're the metrics in my world that are really, really important. And so I find that the people who have the greatest level of personal fulfillment are the ones who are contributing over and above themselves. They're contributing to a cause greater than themselves.
Well, Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich, he had something along these lines. He goes, "If you expect to make money, you have to expect to give something in
Mm.
return. So you can't accept, you can't take without giving."
Yeah.
And one of the
It's
things
just
now
a
that,
circular. It's a universal law. It's like
yeah,
keep it going. That's what they do in religion, tithing,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
10% of that has been the figure that people talk about in terms of tithing.